I've seen a lot of movies in my life, and if you're like me, you know a lot of them end the same way, right? Happily ever after, true love, they go running off into the sunset. And I wanted to make a video talking about, is true love actually real? And if it is, what does that look like? Is there a way to tell that you're experiencing true love? And is like true love or unconditional love like a genuine thing? Or is there always some kind of tangent for it? Some would say true love's a feeling that you just know once you have it. But is this just like an immature state of mind, or is it actually something tangible that you can grasp? It can really put you on a positive path in a lot of ways, because you'll want to better yourself to fulfill the needs of a future spouse or to make your family happy. At the same time, it can ruin you. You can drive yourself crazy. And I was thinking about this the other day and wondering, is unconditional love just like a cope with reality? The cope of humanity to want to believe in something bigger than themselves, something better being out there. You could argue that unconditional love is like love between you and your family, or like with a pet. But I would say in response to that, if you were to burn your mother's house down, like let's say on a wild scale, like if that were to happen, would she still love you? If you stop feeding your pet, would they still love you? Would they still come around? To me, like the fact that we can even ask these kind of questions, not saying to stop feeding your animals, but the fact that that's even an option and a question tells me that unconditional love probably isn't a real thing. But as we talk about unconditional love, it brings up another question of, is unconditional love perfect, right? Is unconditional love true? And I would think they would go hand in hand. Because when I think about unconditional love, I think about it being perfect, right? Like there's no parameter where this doesn't work out, right? There's no parameter where you make this person mad and they leave you. To me, like unconditional means no matter what, it will remain, right? So in a way, it has to mean perfect. Like it has to be perfect love, or it has to be true love. Like no matter what, it will remain. If you burn your mother's house down, or you stop feeding your animal, or whatever, they will remain. That love will remain, that bond will remain. But every living thing on this planet has a breaking point, whether it's emotionally or physically or anything in between. Even if you don't want to believe it, there's always a limit. So what does that mean? Like where am I getting at with this? Is it all hopeless? Like, are we just floating in a vacuum, wishing things to be better than they actually are? Going into things expecting perfection will always set you up for failure, right? If you go into a relationship or meet somebody and you expect things to always be right, you're setting yourself up to be disappointed eventually, because there are always going to be struggles. It's not always going to be perfect. Every person and every relationship will have flaws. It's just a given. Where this gets confusing is we are spoon-fed daily the idea that there can be perfect unconditional love, whether it's in a movie or people you see on social media. Everything's kind of marketed towards this idea that like this exists, you have to be there. And if you don't have it, you're not living to your fullest. And I hate that. I hate it because it's constantly setting you up to be disappointed, because you're never gonna be like that person you see on the screen, because they themselves are living a lie. Those people pretending to be perfect are just like everyone else, but they're just using this facade to make a living. And I'm not saying you should witch hunt these people or stop paying attention to them, but it's important to keep that in perspective, because the problem with looking at perfect people is it makes you feel like you can't have flaws. That there's these people standing on the top that are portraying themselves to be perfect, it makes you think that you need to be there too, right? But flaws are good and they're important. They're what help you learn and grow and become the person you're meant to be. It's important to have flaws. It's something I've realized as I've gotten older. It's how you connect with other people. It's how you form bonds. You don't just walk up to somebody and fall in love with them forever. Things take time. Everything is a test in a way. Not in a bad way, but everything at all times is testing you and testing your ability to love and your resolve to see it through. And being able to build a life with the people you care about is the most important thing we have as a species. That's how cultures are made. That's how civilizations are built, on the things we share. And as humans, we are all flawed, even though it's more popular to pretend that we're not. That's been one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn lately with life over the last few years, that it's okay to show your weaknesses to people. You don't want to show them to everyone because some people take advantage of it, but you start to learn as you get older the kind of people you can trust with it. And through that trust, you become stronger and they become stronger. And it's a tighter bond than you could ever have pretending to be someone that you're not. And yet, I still have these nightmares all the time that I will wake up alone. I finally learned to open myself up to others, and yet I still feel alone. With that in mind, does unconditional love exist? If these people really love me, why do I feel so isolated all the time? Why do I feel like I can't call on anyone if I have a problem? I don't think I would be scared to trust other people as much as I have been if unconditional love was real. And that may sound nihilistic or cynical. I'm not trying to make it out that way. I'm just trying to speak in literal sense. Unconditional love is perfect love and true love. Then why do I know so many people that have never experienced it? Because that's at the end of the day, that's what it feels like. It's just an idea. This is taking a bit of a turn. It all comes back to being promised this reality that you'll never attain. For what reason? I don't know. From what I've read, it's like humanity's always fed some kind of goal, and that's kind of what society is built around, right? Whether it's religion or love or success, it's always something that's way up there that everybody is grinding for. There never seems to be a clear answer of how to get there, though. I feel like unconditional love is one of those things, but in the worst way, because there's always a condition. There's always flaws to any relationship you'll have. And the idea that there wouldn't be someday just sets you up to be disappointed. Even my grandparents, who were together for like 40 years, fought, right? They had 5 kids together and they still fought. My grandma would tell me about it. That didn't mean they didn't love each other, but if they fight, is that still perfect love? Is that still unconditional love? Just something I wanted to run by you. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.